What is it like being an Australian living in Jamaica? Hi, I'm Xavier Murphy, founder of Jamaicans.com. And today I speak to Jess, aka Bless Up Jess, an Australian living in Jamaica. Hi, Jess, how are you?
Hi, Xavier. I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh man, this
Excited.
this is gonna be fun. I've been looking forward to this one because if you haven't seen Bless Up Jess, she has a YouTube channel out there and she goes out and she's diving into Jamaican culture and showing it to the world. So Jess, let's start out with
Thank
this.
you.
We know you're from Australia. Tell us about where in Australia you're from. Tell us a little bit about the city that you're from in Australia.
Okay, so I am from Melbourne in Australia, down south. I live like 40 minutes out from like the inner city. So yeah, I love Australia. I really do. It's a great place to live, great place to be. It's very like multicultural as well. And yeah, it's really fun. Like a lot of things to do as well.
All right. So, in terms of things to do, if someone was to visit, you say, listen, if you visit in Melbourne, what's one of the things you'd
Mhm.
say, you got to go do this in Melbourne?
I would say definitely have to like visit the city. And like we're close to like the city is also close to the beach as well. So we have like the popular beach that people will go to is St Kilda, and you've got like all restaurants and bars along there. So I think we have a good like really good nightlife as well. But yeah, I would say definitely the city is
All
where it's
right. So, how did you end up in Jamaica from all the way in Melbourne, Australia? And give us a story. Did
at.
how did you get interested in even, how did Jamaica even come on the radar?
Yeah, okay. So I literally before like coming to Jamaica, or I would say it was around like COVID period when I first like it came on my radar, I would say. I was like scrolling through TikTok and I had seen like just a TikTok of some girl, she was at Spanish Bridge and she had like jumped from there, and I think she had recently gone like on a vacation to Jamaica, so I was just checking out a few of her videos. And I thought it looked really cool. And then from there, it just was kind of like a seed was planted in the back of my head. And then I think maybe like 1 or 2 years later, I just decided to book like an impromptu flight to Jamaica. I ended up booking 1 month and found I knew nothing about Jamaica. I didn't know about like any of the parishes, so
Wow.
it was just very like going in blind. But yeah, I ended up booking like a month in Jamaica. I found an Airbnb that happened to be in Negril. I stayed with a Rasta man. His name is Lyndon, and I stayed with him for a month and just really learned so much. And yeah, it was amazing.
Wow. So just cold turkey, saw Spanish Bridge, and just say,
Yeah.
I'm going to Jamaica. And have you gone to
Yeah.
Spanish Bridge?
Not yet. So I haven't been there, which is crazy. But I will. I will.
Okay,
I
so
definitely.
the weekend is coming up. That will be the weekend trip, right?
I mean, yeah. Well, I am actually planning on doing it because I plan to go visit my family.
Right.
Um, so I wanted to intentionally not, because I haven't been to Ochi yet and I haven't been to Portland yet, and I wanted to intentionally not go to them so that like I am doing them when I come back, if that makes
All
sense.
right. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. Spanish Bridge, buckle up because the road to Spanish Bridge is very interesting. I don't know how two cars get on there sometimes, but
Really?
it's an interesting ride. Interesting ride. So tell us, what do you love the most about Jamaica since you have experienced quite a few things. What do you love the most?
I would have to say the people, to be honest with you. Like it's yeah, I would definitely say it's the people here that like make Jamaica like what it is, and also obviously the land. It's beautiful, it's lush, it's green. all the different rivers, the beaches. It's stunning. But I was actually thinking about this the other day, and I was like, what would I, miss the most? Like if I was to go back to Australia, and it would definitely be the people, because I'm here by myself. Well, when I first came here, I didn't really know anyone, but it's hard to feel alone in Jamaica because everyone is so friendly, welcoming, warming. And you walk out on the street or you're in a restaurant, and people are chatting to you, and it's a bit of a different vibe to where I am from in Melbourne.
Wow.
Like everyone's just so friendly and warming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So I want to flip it now. What's the thing that you have experienced that you like the least about Jamaica?
Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, I would probably say it's the convenience of things.
Okay.
I would say,
Okay.
like especially in the grill, things are relatively accessible to you, but in terms of convenience, I would say that it's a bit different from where I'm from.
Okay. All right.
In terms of maybe some of the things that I'm used to,
I know.
just easily going to buy. Yeah.
I know what you mean.
That.
Bank on Friday. That type of thing.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so you have had, I've followed your videos, follow you on Instagram. You have done quite a few things. You have jumped into the culture, really jumped into the culture. And so what is one of those experiences so far that you would say this has been my favorite experience in Jamaica?
Look, I don't even think I would be able to give you one particular favorite experience, because everything's so different from one another that you just. But there's been some beautiful moments that I've had, and it's just me interacting with the locals or just the people that you meet. That is what I love. But I mean, I went to the Blue Mountains, and that was amazing. The views from up there were absolutely stunning.
Okay.
But
You don't have
yeah,
to narrow it down to one then, because it sounds like you're thinking, oh man, I can't. I can't. There's just been so many.
yeah, I really can't. Yeah, my experience has also been so on a scale very different from one another that
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to pinpoint it. Yeah.
All right. All right. So which one was, you'd say, interesting and you want to do again? Would it be the Blue Mountain? Would you want to climb the Blue Mountain again?
Yeah, definitely the Blue Mountains, except maybe not the. Okay, when I went out to the Blue Mountains, to the Blue Mountain Peak, I said I would never ever do that again in my life, because that was the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. It was 4 hours up to the peak. But when I did go to the Blue Mountains, I only stayed for the weekend, and I definitely want to spend an extended amount of period in the Blue Mountains, because I think it's just beautiful. And maybe I would hike to the peak again if I was more prepared with snacks and stuff.
All right. So tell us about a story, or an experience where you're from Australia, you're in Jamaica, and it may have caused some cultural confusion, something that you thought that maybe this is how I do it in Australia, but this is how they do it in Jamaica. Or it may be a word, it may even be a word that you use the word and you realize, oh, it's an English word, but the way Jamaicans use that word, maybe a little different. So keep in mind, we're PG here. We're PG.
Yeah. Okay. No, I would say okay, just in general, learning how to move around here has definitely been a process. Say for instance, there's some little shops that you go to, the pharmacy shops, or just the shops that you can buy your hair products from, and everyone lines up in there. And in Australia, it'd just be an orderly line. You line up, you go to the front. Oh, hi, can I please use can I please get this? But you gotta get in there. You gotta get in there. You gotta yo, let me grab that. Like, you got this? Give me this. Like, instead, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to move in like Jamaica, you can't be like afraid or like timid or scared. Like, you got to get in there. Yo, give me that. Like, you got that.
Okay.
And
All right.
yeah, and
That's
like yeah, I would say that like just kind of like going in there and getting in there.
all right. All right. So, food. What
hmm
has been your favorite Jamaican food?
I would okay. Is it like can I say fruit? Like, does that count? Because
You could say fruit too, but I want to
yeah,
hear like a cooked dish that you like. But you could tell me about the fruits. That's fine. You could tell us
okay, but
about the fruits you
yeah,
like.
okay. One, I love the fruits here because it's different to what we get back in Australia. So like, I am obsessed with like soursop and guineps because we don't have those back in Australia. Um, like even this morning, like I went for a walk like along the beach and there was a guinep tree and I was like picking the guineps up off the floor and ate them this morning and I just thought that was really cool. Oh, I'm obsessed with porridge. The
Okay.
porridge here.
Which one?
Yeah.
Which one?
Okay. I think I've only tried the cornmeal, and the other day I actually had peanut porridge from a Ital restaurant, which was really good as well. But yeah,
Okay.
that was more healthier than the cornmeal one. The cornmeal one was quite sweet and sugary, but I liked it.
Have you tried how many corn porridge?
No, see, I haven't tried that. Someone told me about it, and I couldn't really wrap my head around it. I was like, I don't really know how I feel about like
Corn
corn
and
being in
porridge?
like a sweet porridge. So I'll definitely try it. I'll give it a go. Yeah, but yeah.
All right, all right. So, in terms of the locations, I know you haven't been to Ochi yet. You said you haven't been to certain places. Which one of the locations or places that you've been, apart from the Blue Mountain, that you say, man, this is really stunning?
Okay. Obviously Negril. Like I am like a lover of Negril, but in terms of like you say stunning, I would say yeah, obviously Negril. But then in terms of like energy wise, I'm gonna tell you downtown Kingston.
Wow,
Yeah,
you love you love the energy there,
yeah, I really love going like downtown Kingston, getting like my groceries from there, or like there's also like there's a Ital restaurant that I normally go there called Ibo Spice on Orange Street, and yeah, like I am a big fan of downtown Kingston.
all right, definitely. I hear you. Have you been to any reggae, reggae dancehall concerts since you've been there? And thoughts, experience. What was that experience like for you?
Okay, to be honest, and you're probably going to judge me for this, but I actually haven't been out in Kingston yet. Like I was there for like a month and a half, and I haven't been to any like dance hall like parties yet. I was actually planning on like filming like a week of like on Monday, you know, go here, but I haven't been to any yet.
All
I've
right,
been to a few Rasta reggae like events.
right, right.
Where
Okay,
there's performances there.
okay.
But yeah,
All right. Well, I'll follow the channel, and folks, you can follow Bless Up Jess. You'll see her, recording all these types of experiences there. What would be one piece of advice you'd give to someone who, again, maybe cold turkey or visiting Jamaica, you're kind of on your own, which is a little different. You're outside of the typical staying in a resort or whatever, so you have learned a lot. So what's that
yeah.
one piece of advice you would give to someone who is thinking, I'm going to travel solo to Jamaica, and I want to dive into the culture?
Okay.
One piece of advice.
Um, Definitely like don't move in fear. Like when you're here, um, you definitely have to, and obviously don't move in fear, and travel. with respect, respect for people, respect for the locals, and just like immerse yourself in it as much as you can. Definitely like do your research on how to move around here.
Right.
Like yeah, different ways to get around. So I definitely do your research on that. But
Okay.
yeah, just don't move in fear.
All
Yeah.
right. I love that one. Don't move in fear. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Jess, bless up, Jess. Thank you. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your experience about living in Jamaica. Here is how I close out. There, again, you have immersed yourself in a culture. What's that one Jamaican expression that you just really love hearing, and maybe you use it too?
Okay. That is going to be that is that. That is it. That is it.
That is it.
Yeah, that is it. You know how like everyone says that is it. That is it. Like I don't know why. It's just so addicting to say. So I'm always like, yeah, that is it. That is it.
Bless up, Jess. Thank you again. And listen, we'll be following you and watching you as you experience Jamaica. As I always say, lick more.
Look more. Yeah, man. Let's see.
Show us some love now. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss a video.